In this lesson, we're going to add a field specifically designed to hold a telephone number in the event content type. While it would be perfectly functional to simply use a plain text field for phone numbers, there are a few reasons why we want this to be a special field. First, with so many people accessing websites on mobile devices, it only makes sense for phone numbers on sites to be clickable, making it easy for a mobile viewer to make a call right there. Second, semantic markup, which is markup that tells the browser valuable information about the content being displayed, is helpful for those viewing the site through a screen reader, such as non-sighted users. It also ensures that the content can be easily translated into future technologies or migrated from one place to another if desired. Finally, as with URLs and email addresses, phone numbers can be improperly entered. Using a field designed specifically for phone numbers will help put checks in place to make sure that the data that the content enters is accurate. So we're currently on the Event Content Type Manage Fields tab, and we're going to go ahead and add a new field here. Under the Add a New Field list, I'm going to take a look and see what's available. Nothing here looks like it's designed for a phone number, except perhaps the text plain option, which we already said isn't really what we want to use in this case. Since what I want isn't reflected, typically what I would do is go to Drupal.org and start a search for a module. In this case, however, I happen to know that the module already exists in Drupal core. This is something that Drupal 8 has added because Drupal 8 is thinking first about mobile and really making sure that sites are accessible across a broad range of devices. So I'm going to go to the Extend tab here, and I'm going to look up phone because I don't really know necessarily what the module is called, but I'm just going to do a search and see if there's something related to phone numbers that might be available. So I just typed in PHO and it gave me telephone. I'm going to take a look at this description, and I can tell right from here that this probably does exactly what I need. So I'll go ahead and enable it. Now we're going to go back to the event content type under Structure, Content Types, Event, Manage Fields. We'll add the field again, and this time in the new field list, under the number category, we see telephone number. I'm going to click on that, and I'll label it, and save and continue. We only want one phone number on each event, so we'll limit that to one. Go ahead and save that. We won't make this required, and we probably should put in help text just to be friendly to our content editors. Perhaps in this case, we do have a default phone number that we want used in the event that no phone number is provided. If we want that, then we can put the default phone number that might be used in here. And then we can go ahead and save these settings. Now that we've added this field, we can head over to the event node that we already created, this homemade baby food event, and we'll go ahead and edit it, and the form will now include that phone number field. There it is right there at the bottom. Now, the reason why this particular node that we've already created does not contain that default phone number is because this node already existed before we made that change to the event. If I create a new event node, go to Add Content and Event, and scroll down, you'll see that the default phone number is in that phone field. But it's important to note that changes to your content type after content has already been created aren't necessarily going to reflect on the existing content. Let's go ahead and add a phone number here. In fact, we'll just add that default phone number, and then we'll save this and keep it published. Scrolling down to the bottom here so that we can see that, here's the phone number right here. Now, one of the very useful things that I already talked about for using an actual telephone field for your phone number is that then the phone number can be linked so that users on mobile devices can make the call right from there. And you'll notice I moused over this and it's not actually linked. So in order to make it linked, we might need to make some changes. This is going to happen in the display settings for the content type. So we're going to head back over to our content type, and I'm going to head over to the Manage Display tab. Scrolling down here, what I'm interested in is the phone field, which currently is displaying in the format of plain text, but I actually want it to display as a phone number, so let's see what's available here. And as a matter of fact, telephone link is one of the options. So I'll go ahead and click on that. Now I do have some settings. I want to see what those are. And what it shows me here is that I could actually replace the telephone number. So I could say click to call. But I don't want to do that. I want to actually display the phone number in case somebody wants to pick up a different phone and call the number that they're looking at. We'll update this and save our changes. Now we'll head back to that homemade baby food event, reload the page, scroll down to the bottom here, and you'll see that the phone number is actually linked. And if I click on it, it's trying to figure out how to make a phone call and allowing me to launch an application with which I can actually make an external call. If I were using a mobile device and I clicked on it, it would ask me, do you actually want to make a call? And then I could say, yes, I do. In this lesson, we added a special field that required enabling an additional module, the telephone module. This module happened to be in core, but you may choose to add field types that will require contributed modules or even a module that you create yourself. In the next lesson, we're going to add the final field needed by the event content type, and probably the most important field of all, which is date and time.